is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with a new Carrier home comfort system to keep your home cool all summer long. Ask your local dealer about local Wisconsin focus on energy rebates and financing for qualified buyers. Turn to the experts at Carrier. We've got you covered so you can get back to cheering on the crew. Carrier, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Find your local dealer at carriermilwaukee.com.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
This one is way out there and gone.
There's no greater feeling than when you're
Dramatics, but they get her done against the Blue Jays. 4-1 the final today. Just one unearned run allowed. The pitching and defense were phenomenal. The home runs came in the 9th. Jackson Chourio is back. Vibes are immaculate, as we sometimes say. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620. 1620, or over on the YouTube live chat, just search WTMJ to find us there. The Brewers getting ready for this long stretch to finally come to an end on Monday, and maybe they're playing back to the ball we saw at the beginning of this stretch. Today was a perfect example of it. We'll break it all down with Craig Kishon, but now let's get you caught up to speed with the highlight recap.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Brewers and Blue Jays, and it was a good pitching matchup once again. Quinn Priester and Kevin Gausman, and similar to yesterday, this was a pitcher's duel early, but all of it thanks to Miles Straw in the first inning. Jackson Chourio back, activated off the injured list from his hamstring strain. He sees one pitch, and he sends it to center.
Gausman brings home the first pitch, and a fly ball to deep center. Back on it is Straw at the track wall, and Straw brought it back. Whoa!
Taste of their own medicine. A great play by Straw. Definitely robbed a homer. But, hey, it was a sign of things to come from Chourio. Don't hit it there. But nothing after 2 innings of play. We pick up the highlights in the 3rd inning now with the Blue Jays getting a little bit of a rally going against Quinn Priester. A leadoff single up the middle by Ty France. Then Miles Straw hit a hustle double into left center field, but France had to wait. He only got to 3rd. So, runners on 2nd and 3rd, and 1 out. Top of the order coming up. A pop-out by George Springer was huge, especially given Priester was behind 3-0 at one point in that count. The next batter was Addison Barger.
The 1-0 pitch. Line drive towards short. Nice pick by Monasterio. Spins around, throws to first, and he got him. What a play by Andrew. And Priester escapes big-time trouble in the 3rd unscathed.
It was 106 off the bat. It short-hopped Mona at his ankles. He made a terrific play and keeps a 0 on the board. But Kevin Gausman, he was terrific on the other side. The Brewers had no answer for his splitter. It was extremely effective today. They failed to score in the first 5 innings, just mustering up 3 singles. In the bottom of the 5th, it got stressful once again for Priester after an infield hit from Ty France. The Brewers' defense showed up.
1-2 pitch. Bouncer towards second. Terang has it. Flips to Monasterio for 1. On to first in time. 4-6-3 it goes. The Brewers turn a double play behind Quinn Priester, and he's through the 5th.
It could have been another double play in the 6th inning to end the frame, or at least keep things off the board after an infield hit from Straw. George Springer reached on a throwing error by Bryce Terang on what would have been bases empty, 2 outs. Instead, it's a man on second and 1 out. Next batter, Barger, hit a clean single through the right side, but they held Springer at third, so it put men on the corners for Vlad Jr., and he would hit a sac fly to get the Blue Jays on the board. 1-0 through 6 innings. Gausman returned for the 7th inning, and that was a mistake, because then a leadoff double by Christian Yelich. He got to third on an unselfish AB from Contreras, making sure he went the other way. Yelly to third. Frelick puts the ball in play. Good things happen. Contact play was on. Yelich scores, ties the game at 1 on the ground out. Bottom of the 7th inning, Priester is done. Koenig is entering. He's facing 3 righties in a row. Kirk strikes out swinging on a curveball. Pinch hitter Davis Schneider strikes out swinging on a curveball. Ty France, you can guess what's about to happen here.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Curveball bounced in the dirt and strikes out France. And Jared Koenig strikes out the side in order in the 7th against 3 right-handed hitters. That was beautiful. Kirk, Schneider, France, goodbye.
Brewers got 2 hits in the 8th, but could not cash either of them in thanks to a double play. Then at the bottom of the 8th, Nick Mears was effective, a strikeout against Jimenez, a lot of single to straw, then got Springer to pop out. Pat Murphy went to Aaron Ashby after he struggled yesterday, got him back on the horse to face the lefty Barger. Instead, the Blue Jays countered with their specialist righty Ernie Clement, and they got him to fly out. So Ashby only threw 3 pitches today and got the job done. 9th inning, Brewers going up against Jeff Hoffman, the closer for the Blue Jays. He has been on some rough times as of late, and Churio kept those going.
Hoffman's 1-1. Here's a fly ball to right. Going back is Springer. Springer at the track, at the wall. Bye-bye baseball. Welcome back, Jack. Brewers take a 2-1 lead on the back of their superstar.
Going the other way, hey, just hit it to the wall. They can't rob the home run. Churio goes deep, his 2nd hit of the game. Then, don't blink, you'll miss it. Yelly up next.
They don't come around like him very often. Now Christian Yelich to left, deep, gone! And listen to the boos here in Canada.
How about it for Yelly? Back-to-back jacks on back-to-back pitches. They weren't done with Hoffman after a 1-out walk to Sal Frelick. He got to second on a ground out and on an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs to the Rookie of the Year, Isaac Collins.
0-2 to Collins. And a fly ball into left center. This is pretty well struck. It's going to plug the gap, and it is going to roll on a hop to the wall. Around third is Frelick. He will score. And into second with an RBI double is Isaac Collins. A huge insurance run provided by the rookie. And it is 4-1 Crew.
How about it? 4-1 Brewers. They would win by that final after a game-ending double play. The Brewers were clutch on the ground today, and they take the series over the Blue Jays 4-1. Quinn Priester is the winner, or excuse me, the no decision, I should say, but the Brewers win yet another game started by Quinn Priester. That is 16 consecutive games that Quinn Priester has made an appearance. The Brewers have won. They're now 85-52. Again, 85 wins in August. This is ridiculous. The rate that they have been winning at. They have smashed their over at this point in the season. They have been phenomenal all season long. And now they're one shy of their high water mark again of 34 games above 500. They're at 33 right now. We'll break it all down with Craig Kashan and with you. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. 855-616-1620 or over in the YouTube live chat. Just search WTMJ. Back after this on 620 WTMJ.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. I'm Tony Wendorf. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Contact us today to get started. Tony Wendorf & Associates, trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us at WendorfTeam.firstweber.com.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies. And get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with $1 Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at Brewers.com/tickets.
The Labor Day savings are already here at Kohlder's. Right now, you can shop unbeatable deals store-wide. Save thousands on furniture, appliances, and mattresses only for a limited time now through Labor Day at Kohlder's. WTMJ's John Burke here. I shop at Kohlder's at all the different stores and online. And you can save 60% on furnitures and mattresses, then take an extra 10% off. That's right, 60 plus 10 on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, and more. Or discover your dream mattress and take home a better night's sleep at Kohlder's best prices. But that's not all. You can also save even more on appliances with Kohlder's exclusive Labor Day prices. Take an extra 5% off kitchen and laundry appliances from your favorite trusted brands. At Kohlder's, they guarantee the best price in town. But hurry, Kohlder's Labor Day sale is only available this weekend for limited time. Shop right now through Labor Day. Visit any Kohlder's location in West Allis, Oak Creek, Delafield, or Grafton, or shop online at Kohlder's.com.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Kohlder's.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers win again. 85 wins. How about it? Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. If you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. They've got a local team right here in Milwaukee, and they know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience a unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. With Craig Kashan, I'm Dom Cotroneo. The Brewers win 4-1 over the Blue Jays. And Craig, this show has to begin with Jackson Chourio being back in the lineup. And shoot, he was, about a foot away from this being a 3-for-4, 2-homer day. He didn't strike out at all today. Didn't even see 2 strikes today. We saw Jackson Chourio pick up exactly where he left off in the big leagues. Nobody cares what you're doing on rehab assignment down in AAA. Those aren't the games that count. The games that count are the ones that we saw today, a go-ahead RBI, a single in the 4th inning as well. Man, I'm just sitting here like Jackson Chourio makes this lineup so dynamic, and this was the first lineup that we saw really like, woo, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, for sure, Dom. And I think of this whole situation with Chourio just continuing to prove why he's a superstar and continuing to prove why Matt Arnold, when he signed him to that long-term deal a year ago and said, here you go, you're 20 years old in the big leagues for your rookie season. It's because he doesn't belong in the minors. So it's no wonder he didn't collect any hits or very few during his times this past week on his minor league rehab. I mean, he's like, no, I'll just do it all up here. And we joked too, Dom. We'll tell our listeners, we kind of joked that he'd go today and just go 4 for 4. It just would be so Jackson Chourio, and very first pitch should have had a home run. Great defensive play made out there by Straw to rob him of that home run. But to make sure he closed the game with the game on the line, it's tied at 1. He's leading off the 9th, and he hits one the other way. This guy is just starting to fill up the I've got drama in me, and I like the big light when it's shining on me. And, man, we saw it here today for sure.
I think with Chourio, the most important thing to think about with Jackson, this dude is 21 years old. He's already signed. He is somebody the Brewers think that, if we want to get ahead of ourselves here for a second, that when the torch is passed by Christian Yelich, it's going to him. It's going to Jackson Chourio. He's 21 years old. He loves the spotlight, meaning when the game gets tight, when the game gets stressful, he wants that action. Look at the playoffs last season. The 2-homer game in Game 2 when facing elimination. Great at-bats in Game 3, not afraid to draw walks. To be able to use the opposite field, that is the mature approach of a veteran, not a 21-year-old kid in his second year in the show. This kid is the future face, maybe, of the National League. And he is here. He is signed. He is Brewers through and through. My goodness, I think we are about to see another great month from Chourio, because when he got hurt, he was having the best month of his career. an over 340 batting average, an OPS over 1,000, and for him to not skip a beat today reminds you he is the best. That is why they trusted him before he even made his big league debut to sign the dotted line, and you're seeing that pay off today.
And the thing too about Jackson Chourio is he's got so many big moments to come in his career. But the thing I really like is he's had a really nicely paced short career here so far that's been filled with so many big moments, but mostly just progression that you would expect out of a young major leaguer. But with him, he can take it to the next degree. And all those examples that you gave, Dom, are spot on. You're absolutely right. He's going to come up big for you in big moments, and we obviously saw it in this game today. But to see it in his first at bat, to say, I'm back, this is where I belong, and you know what, I'm going to do some heavy damage here right now. He is clearly talent-wise the face of this franchise. There's no question about that. I know Christian Yelich is still the face of the franchise and has loads of talent too, but just think of how many more years of Jackson Chourio that Brewer fans are going to be able to watch here, and how many more wins he's going to deliver, just like today.
And then, oh, by the way, the guy who still is burning the torch, Christian Yelich, he goes 2 for 4 today. He scores the first run of the 7th inning with a savvy base running play, hits a home run to the opposite field, mind you. Yelly continues to have an incredible bounce-back season that, again, we've talked about it on this show before, but isn't getting enough love in the nation. That, this dude's putting up MVP numbers again. He's hitting 270 even with the brutal first 2 months of the season. He's now got 27 home runs on the season and a total of 92 runs batted in now. I mean, he's going to get to 30 and 100 with 25 games to go. He's got a real chance to be a top 5 MVP recipient. I know it's Ohtani and then Schwarber. That third spot's wide open right now, and that would be a heck of an honor for Christian Yelich.
Yeah, I think that's the bottom line. It would be a heck of an honor. He's a long shot to get it, but to be in that top 5, he deserves that respect too, because just think how his season started as well. And I've said this several times here in the last month, as Christian Yelich goes, the Brewers go. Look what happened beginning of the season, and he just couldn't produce anything, and the Brewers couldn't win any games. And then he started to slowly put some things together, and the Brewers started slowly putting wins together, and he only got dramatically better as the season went on. And to see these numbers here right now, you would have absolutely no idea how things started out. Not only for the Brewers, but especially for this guy. But his value to this team is off the charts. I know Chourio is Jackson Chourio, and he's got a lot of growth left, but your MVP is still number 22.
When he woke up in Pittsburgh on May 22nd, his slash line, Yelich's, read 184 batting average, 276 on base, 324 slug. His OPS fell all the way to 600 even, Craig. And there were people, myself included, thinking, oh boy, what's wrong? Is it the back? I mean, he's playing every day. Is it the back surgery? Is he fatigued? Is this it? This can't be the way it all ends. But since that day, since the first game of that 4-game series in Pittsburgh, which then followed up with the first 8-game winning streak for the Brewers, since that day, he is hitting .319 with a .395 on base. He is slugging .553, so he's nearly a couple of walks from a .345 player and a .950 OPS with 20 homers over his last 82 games. Again, I'm saying this from the rooftops. Comeback Player of the Year, top 5 MVP candidate. I know he's a DH. I don't care. The dude is the reason the Brewers go. Like you just said, he's the straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah, and I love the comeback player of the year. I mean, he missed the second half of last season trying to fix the back, the surgery, the long rehab starts. And you know what? I think the bottom line too, Dom, like you just mentioned a minute ago, what were we thinking going into that second and third week of May with the lack of production. What could be the problem? I'm not sure at all. In fact, I'm sure that we all know this by now who are on the team a lot. He never questioned that. And you got to give a lot of credit to somebody who's been around the league and just knows himself and knows that he's going to rebound into something more positive. What he's done, I mean, he is putting up literally MVP numbers for the league total here right now, but he never questioned himself. And that's, I think, the coolest part about why this guy fits in so well with this club and why this club kind of operates the way they do here right now and has found this success that very, very few other franchises in the history of the game are finding, like the Brewers are going through right now. And it all starts with him. There's just no doubt about it.
The Brewers are better when Chourio and Yelich are in the lineup together, and they have been rolling along and playing great baseball. But we're completely ignoring the pitching right now because a lot of love to the pitchers coming in on the text line, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620, or over in the YouTube chat as well. Brewers win 4-1. Let's talk some pitching next on 620 WTMJ.
It's the end of summer here in the Milwaukee area, but soon enough, you'll be dealing with cold winter temperatures once again. Time to have Window Nation replace your home's windows in 1 day or less. Right now, get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. You could also score 2 tickets to a Brewers game if you replace all the windows in your home. Hurry, Milwaukee. This sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com right now.
Window Nation is a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Hey, John Mercure here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's Certa Pro Painters.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. Keep your home running right with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. And when you book a service call this month, you'll be entered to win a $250 home improvement gift card through their Fix It and Win It event. Head to Cider.com. That's SEIDER.com to book today. I'm Dom Cotroneo with Craig Kashan. Get to some of these texts, and we'll get to some questions later as well. Reggie from Milwaukee, tipping my hat to Priester on another excellent outing. 6 innings, no earned. That's a heck of a performance against the AL's best team. From Nick, what a win from the Brew Crew in Chourio's return to the lineup. Almost 2 homers. That go-ahead one he hit was an incredible piece of hitting. Let's get the brooms out tomorrow. Then Alex from Oshkosh, give props to Chourio and Yelly for the back-to-back homers. Great for him to perform so well coming off the injury list, but let's sweep the Bluebirds tomorrow. Let's talk a little bit about the Priester decision and having him, with the wrist issue, whatever was actually going on with Priester, to have him come back here against the Blue Jays and to set this rotation to be Freddie, Quinn, and then Woodruff. I mean, you look at it, they haven't allowed an earned run these last 2 games between Freddie and Priester. 12 innings, 0 earned runs against the offense that is one of the best, if not the best, in the American League. Quinn Priester, 16 straight games that he has pitched in, Craig, he has won. I don't think that that's a coincidence. Now, himself, he has a 10-win record in that stretch. The Brewers have won all 16 of them. Not a coincidence. He gives length, he puts the ball in play, trusts his defense, and he has the swing and miss stuff when he needs it. Quinn Priester continues to be a revelation for the Brewers. What a savvy move by this front office.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's got to be one of the favorite, if not the favorite story with this franchise, and a top 5 favorite story just in baseball. I mean, if you love this game, you love when players get opportunities. And I don't know if it's a second or a third opportunity, however you want to label it. It's his third franchise in his short tenure, but it looks like and feels like he's been here forever. I mean, it's great when players find a home, and the Brewers sought him out. They thought he would fit in here. They made a really productively, heavily good trade, and he is from the get-go just I mean, look, he hasn't broke the mold out of anything except go on the mound, give me 6 innings, and the team wins. I mean, 16 straight times he has gone out, this team has won. That's just phenomenal. And you know what? The guys behind him love him. He relies on his defense. He pitches at a very good, swift pace. He doesn't slow the game down. And it's just beautiful baseball right now. It really is. I can't wait for him to get his next start out there, Dom. It's been a while. We keep saying, can he get that 11th straight win on a decision? That would be a new franchise record as well. I hope he gets it because he deserves it. I know the 2 other pitchers in Bosio and Eldred from back in the day, but I don't remember them dominating like this guy has, and I'm not sure at all the actual team won as many of their appearances, I should say, as they have for Priester either. This is really unbelievable stuff.
And then just to kind of go back in time here, Craig, when the trade was made in April, right? And let's just kind of set the scene. It was April 7th. Nestor Cortez has made 2 starts for the Brewers. One of them historically bad in New York. We all know how that went. One of them historically great against the Reds. But then, boom, he goes on the IL. Aaron Savali has a hamstring strain. Boom, he goes on the IL. Tobias Myers still coming back from his oblique strain suffered in spring training. He's still on the IL. Aaron Ashby is still on the IL. DL Hall was just starting his rehab outing. He's still on the IL. When I list all of that out, and you sit here and go, well, I guess they got an arm and see what happens, I think everybody were thinking, all right, well, he's going to be the odd man out when all these guys get healthy, right? Right? Well, now he's maybe the most indispensable one. And quite frankly, we deserve a chance to give, the entire front office their flowers, Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, the pitching analysts inside of this organization, because they identified Quinn Priester, and everyone thought they were crazy. Like, what? You want Quinn? I mean, I'm sure this is how the phone call went with the Red Sox. Like, you want Quinn Priester? Yes, we'll even throw in a draft pick, including these other 2 prospects that I know you want. And they're like, okay, free money for us. Well, go look at what those prospects have done since the trade. Go look at the pick that they used. He hasn't even played in minor league baseball yet. And go look at Quinn Priester this year with 3 more years of control. Give the Brewers credit. When they make a move, they mean it and they want it to work.
Yeah, they do, and they know what the right price is too, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure there isn't a backstory on this where they called one other time, in the past and said, we'll just swap this minor league player for him. He's not really doing much for you. It's nothing like that. I mean, if they need to go and get somebody because they've identified this person as a future Brewer and a lot of production, they're going to go out and find him. And he fits in so well with how this organization's philosophy is with pitching, how the defense plays behind. And every single time he goes out there, it's like textbook, man. It's very little trouble. And if there is, the defense picks him up. We saw a lot of great defensive plays here in this game today. And just the fact that he is able to, keep a really loud, thunderous lineup in Toronto, just simply very, very quiet. There weren't a lot of opportunities for them to do anything when he was out on the mound today.
When the Red Sox acquired him, they wanted him to gain velocity, and they probably still intended on him keeping his four-seam fastball. The Pirates, they were force-feeding him, like, you need to throw a four-seam fastball. You need to throw this pitch. It was easily the worst pitch in his arsenal. But the Pirates, because with all due respect, are not a very good pitching development organization once they arrive in the big leagues, kept saying, well, you got to throw a four-seamer. If you can't do that, you won't be successful here. The Brewers say, why would you throw your worst pitch? Let's embrace the sinker. And look what he did today with all the ground ball outs. And if it wasn't for a misplay by Bryce Terang, this would be 6 shutout. And maybe even we're talking about 7 innings from Quinn Priester. Because when you trust the sinker, you're getting weak contact, you're getting ground balls, and you do have to pair it with this elite defense behind him. But this is a match made in heaven for both teams, right? Even the double wasn't even hit that hard by Miles Straw. The ball was never really in danger today because Quinn Priester's sinker was so effective.
Yeah, it was. And you know, I also remember you and I commented about this in the middle of the game. I can't remember what play it was. It was kind of a comeback or a high chopper that was going right over Priester's head, right over the mound, where probably 95% of pitchers are going to react to the point that they think that they can go get it. And he kind of looked up, maybe left his feet for a second, put his hands down and said, I ain't touching that because I know what I have behind me. And that's so smart of him and so like poised in the moment, which is tough to do. Just rely on your defense, man. You do your job on the mound, let that ball be put in play, and then your guys behind you are going to take care of the rest. And that's where this team is with where Priester has progressed as a Milwaukee Brewer. It's really something to watch.
We're seeing sliders. We're seeing just pinpoint location. We're seeing the cutter here and there. I think the most important stat today, Craig, 0 walks from Quinn Priester today. And for him, I mean, so many 2-strike counts. Then, you know, when you're getting ahead 0-2 the first time through the order, they're going to start swinging early, and they were grounding out, and then we saw some ambushes there in the 6th inning. I know he was only at 82 pitches. I'm 100% on board with taking him out in that situation because the game was 1-1. If the game was like 6-0 Brewers, yeah, send him back out there for the 7th, but the game's context matters to make sure that he finishes on a good note. He struck out Bo Bichette. He had a couple stressful innings in there. Quinn Priester did his job. Sometimes it takes 82 pitches. Sometimes it takes 112 pitches. And today, that's what the performance were called for.
Yeah, and, you know, over the last couple of days, and especially yesterday, as it turned out, too, in that Brewer victory, it set up a version and a new look of what we could potentially be seeing out of the bullpen, too, here for the next couple of weeks or until Trevor McGill gets back. You get Koenig coming in and pitching a flawless 7th inning, 3 strikeouts all on his curveball. Mears did his job. He got 2 outs in that 8th inning. There was a runner on, and then Ashby came in and got the final out. Just a quick version of Ashby out there. You get that final out, and Uribe has looked phenomenal, not giving up an earned run over his last 19 appearances, gets the save. This is how it's got to be, though. I mean, these starters, especially when you rely on a guy like Quinn Priester, you got to get at least 6 out of them. And thankfully, just the way things unfold, when you win games the way the Brewers have been winning, like they did yesterday, it put them in perfect position to seal up today's close game.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it with the Diamondbacks during the midweek series. It's just, oh my gosh, this bullpen's gas. Well, thanks to the work by Tobias Myers and Easton McGee in those last 2 games of that series, that's the reason all these guys are available and fresh and good to go. And now you're inching closer to those off days again. And obviously length helps too, but they're in a very good spot usage-wise. And you're right there on Koenig specifically. You know, that was going to be my next segment before I let you go. It's just like, Koenig today was brilliant. And to do this against 3 righties, this is what we saw when he first came up last year. Like, he's getting both sides out, and he's got the nastiest curveball you've ever seen. It's like, yeah, that's the guy that we know about, not the guy that's giving up homers.
Yeah, he was dealing, And you're right. Just the fact that, he is back at the point where it doesn't matter who's up at the plate right now. Go get him, man. Mr. Big Lefty out there. Just a phenomenal job with those 3 strikeouts. And the big hook was working. That's for sure. You love the fact that, Jared Koenig, man, you give him time to catch his breath and to get a day. And he comes out and he delivers in situations like this big time. I mean, that's a dominant, I'm coming in this inning, and guess what? Game is tied 1-1. You are getting nothing out of this deal. And those things are so important. And keep delivering, big guy, because if he can do what he did today and he's feeling as good as he is right now at this point in the season, what was this, Dom, like his 62nd, 63rd, 64th appearance? That's crazy stuff.
62nd appearance this season. That's a lot. I mean, and hopefully there's a few more coming in the postseason for him too. But when you just look at individual, just standard, hey, who's pitched the most this season among players in baseball? I'm just pulling it up right now on Baseball Reference. Pretty sure he's in the top 5. I'm pulling it up right now. Is Uribe's actually now tied for 3rd with 65 appearances for him. But then Koenig is indeed in the tie for the top 10 with his appearances too. But yeah, pretty useful weapon to have in the back of the bullpen. Craig Sean, appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully talking about a sweep.
All right, let's do it, Dom.
All right, I'm going to answer some questions here coming up from the text line and from the YouTube live chat. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin Subs. Enjoy them with your favorite dipping sauce, or try them in one of our 2 new subs, Classic Crispy Chicken or Bold Buffalo Ranch Crispy Chicken. Both served on our fresh baked bread, made with quality you can taste. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Let's do some buying or selling, shall we? Brewers win today 4-1. Talk about this roster, the rotation, some of the bullpen options as well. Buying or selling is brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, trust Tony Wendorf and Associates, one of the top real estate teams in Wisconsin and part of First Weber Real Estate Services. They bring faith, family, and red carpet experience to every home deal. Let's step up to the plate together. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com. A couple of questions asking, what are the odds that Andrew Monasterio starts a playoff game? Are we buying or selling that? I'm going to sell that for now. Not ignoring how great Mona has been. Just to give you the numbers once again, he's hitting nearly 400 here in the month of August. That includes even when Joey was healthy, and just as far as how important he has been for the Brewers this season, especially being available as a backup shortstop, part of the reason he was always considered for this team. In August, hitting .388, .412, OPS is one dotting it, pretty fantastic. Here's the reason why there's a pause. Like, wow, those are great numbers. Why wouldn't you want to use them more? Well, at the same time, the previous months don't look like that. Granted, he wasn't playing every day in those previous months, so I'll give him some leeway there. And Joey Ortiz, while Mona made some really important plays today, I think he knows his role as saying, my job is to be here and available and do my job when it's needed. But Joey Ortiz is a better defender. And let's also give Joey a little bit of credit, too, that he was swinging the bat a little bit better down the stretch before he actually got hurt in Chicago a week and a half ago. So in August, he was hitting .343 himself with an .830 OPS. And granted, he didn't hit a home run. That's where Mona's got him beat. So it's a fair question, but I'm selling it. I don't think that's going to happen unless something happens with Joey in that it just doesn't look right in September, and Monasterio has certainly earned a longer look. But right now, that's a sell for me in the Mona. Mona's available, and I think one of the things, too, that we could see is if Joey's up and then there's a tough righty coming in or something like that, and maybe Jake Bauers is on the bench, they've got no problem going to Jake. And then they've also got no problem putting Mona at short. I think that's one thing that we've learned about these last couple of days. Question from Jeff from Elkhorn. Who do you think goes down when Ortiz and Hoskins comes back? I think that answer is pretty easy. I think that one's Anthony Siegler. Part of the reason the Brewers are waiting for Rhys Hoskins to return on Monday is because the rosters expand. You get one extra position player starting on Monday. So you can easily add Rhys Hoskins to the roster without making a move otherwise, and then option Anthony Siegler down to AAA Nashville. And that's how you activate Joey Ortiz, because Mona can play third base. Now, I know they only have one lefty bat available off their bench in that situation with Jake Bauers, but I think you and I both know that the Brewers' plans are leaving this lineup in as long as possible. As we're seeing Caleb Durbin get more starts against righties, we've seen Bryce Terang and Sal Freely continue to play against lefties. So I think the Brewers are pretty set in their personnel right now. So I'm buying the fact that the Brewers have room to keep both Ortiz and Hoskins on the active roster. Now, how you divvy up first base, that's beyond my pay grade. Andrew Vaughn had some bad luck again today. He hit a ball 110 off the bat in the second inning, gets caught in deep left field. He goes 0 for 4, and he gets rung up on a pitch that was 2 balls down and the ball outside, that on a 10-pitch battle that should have been ball 4. Like, when you're watching the games every day, don't let White Sox fans tell you that Andrew Vaughn stinks because they're just jealous. Andrew Vaughn's a heck of a player. I'm really happy for him. I know he's had a little bit of bad luck. He's missed a couple hangers. Swing's gotten a little long. He's got time to make the adjustment again. 25 games to go. He's a heck of a hitter. He's rarely striking out, swinging specifically. Today, he didn't even strike out in my eyes. That pitch was down and away. He took a pitch he was supposed to take, and he didn't get rewarded for it. That's baseball. A question about Robert Gasser. What's the word? Is he going to make a start? That sort of thing. Well, he was activated off the 60-day IL today, but immediately optioned to AAA Nashville because, well, there's no room for him right now in the active big league roster. One thing you could see happen, and I hate talking about guys that are currently active on the roster, but the reality is Eric Fedde was signed to fill a hole, fill some long relief, be a spot starter because they could not bring Chad Patrick back up because it wasn't 15 days since his previous option. With all due respect to Eric Fedde, I think he's a nice guy, and I think that the Brewers understand, and he understands, like, hey, let's just get you back on track. Maybe you'll make a couple appearances for us, but there's more guys coming. Robert Gasser is one of those guys that win in that final 10 days of the regular season or so. If you want to put a spot start in and give somebody else an extra day of rest, that's where Robert Gasser is going to file in. But I tell you what, I'm just going to put this thought into the universe here on August 30th at 5:57 p.m. I'm going to put this into the universe right now. If the Brewers are facing a team that struggles against left-handed pitching, a la the Philadelphia Phillies coming into the postseason, do not be surprised if Robert Gasser makes the postseason roster. I'm just putting that in the universe right now. I have no sourcing on this. I have inferences on this based on conversations I've had with people within the Brewers organization. Do not be surprised if Robert Gasser is on a postseason roster, even if he doesn't pitch in the big leagues this year. Just putting that in the back of your head. Don't freak out. There's no reason to overreact. But I just have this feeling the Brewers want to keep him on a regular schedule. That's why they're optioning him to AAA. Everybody needs innings in AAA. Logan Henderson's still on the IL. He's probably not going to throw another pitch in AAA this season. So the point being, Robert Gasser, if he's staying on schedule and the Brewers are in a series, maybe a 7-game series with the Phillies in the CS, depending on how it all shakes out, to have him available in your bullpen for an inning or two, sign me up. Or maybe you start him as an opener. Like a pairing of Robert Gasser and Jacob Mizorowski. I'm no sourcing on this. This is not set in stone. But again, I'm standing by it. I would not be surprised if Robert Gasser makes a postseason roster. Good questions, though, there as well. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. A lot of love for Jackson Churio as well on the text line. A lot of love on the player of the game poll. We'll talk about that coming up next right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
The roll screen, the ability to roll a window screen up and down like a shade. Pella invested in this breakthrough when the business was born and has introduced the world to innovative, game-changing designs ever since. Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. Our incredible craftsmen have always been driven by the principles of traditional American values and the desire to enrich the homes and lives of others. They've been at it for a century. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, we make it easy for you to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home. Pella always designs with innovation and rigorously tests each product for quality and performance. Our team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Investing in new Pella windows and doors creates long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years. And if you order by August 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies. And get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with $1 Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at Brewers.com/tickets.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers win 4-1. Get to our player of the game. It's brought to you by International Autos Group. Just like the game's MVP, you can drive into the rest of the summer in style and save up to $10,000 on in-stock BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benz, and more. No tariffs, just huge savings. Visit IAMilwaukee.com. International Autos Group, where ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Pretty easy pick today, I think, for a lot of folks, especially with Churio back in the order. But I'm also really proud of Brewers fans saying Quinn Priester deserves some love here too. 49% went to Churio, 45% went to Quinn Priester. Yelly got some love too. So 360 votes. Appreciate everyone voting there. Churio was voted player of the game. Text from Adam. Gotta love it. Does nothing in the Nashville rehab. Comes back up and pretty much wins the game like he never left. Then this one from Rick. All of the above. Yeah, I agree with that one too. That's an easy pick too. From Aaron in Illinois. Few of us, including myself, owe you an apology for grumbling about the move to Koenig. Turns out Murph was right. Now the player of the game has to be Jackson Churio. So great to have him back. Let's take 10 more wins and take the division. Continue the success against the American League tomorrow and get the sweep with Woody. That success against the American League, we talked about it a little bit on today's Brewers warm-up, but now you look at the standings in the American League. Blue Jays, the Brewers have taken a series over them. They're in first in the AL East. The Tigers, they're in first in the AL Central. They took a series over them. Astros, they're in first in the AL West. They took a series over them. Mariners, second place, took a series over them. Royals, second place, took a series over them. Yankees, we don't talk about it. Red Sox swept them. You see what I'm saying here? The Brewers are dominating the American League, and it's not just the Brewers. I think the American League is down once again this year. It's just not as good. Now, granted, having Baltimore have off to such a cold start at the beginning of the year was part of the reason for that. The Angels continue to confound me. The A's have been the second best team in baseball here in August, behind these Brewers. They're now only 10 games under 500. It's kind of crazy that they actually have an opportunity somehow to finish 500. And the A's already took a series against them, too. They see the Rangers here in a couple weeks. There's a lot of mediocrity in the American League, and I know we talked about the National League field already being set. I think Cincinnati's done for. I think they're done and dusted. And the Brewers' magic number falls to 10. It could be 9 by the end of the night to clinch a playoff spot because it's directly connected to Cincinnati, given they're the first team out right now. But the point being, the depth of the National League is with quality teams. Philly, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Diego. Chicago is in second place in its own division by 7 games. It would be tied for the division lead in the West and 1 game back in the East. They're a really good team down there. And they're frustrated, of course, because they're thinking, all right, strength of schedule, we're playing the Giants and the Rockies, and the Brewers are playing the Blue Jays. We're going to gain so... Oh, what? They won? They won again? What? If we lose tonight, we're 7.5 back? What? They tried to lose it yesterday. You never know at Coors Field, man. We talk about strength of schedule, throw it out the window, and especially when you're playing at Coors, nobody wants to play at Coors in August or September. It is so hard to play there, period. And to do it toward the end of the year and having to, get your pitchers back on track, scheduling bullpen, scheduling all this extra stuff, it's hard to play in Colorado. So maybe the Brewers will be Rockies fans tonight. With a Rockies win, the Brewers will be 7.5 up in the Central Division with 25 games to go. And with 25 games to go, another thing that we're keeping an eye on, the Brewers' franchise record for wins. Can they win 100? Can they get some sort of history with this incredible season? They've already broken the record for most consecutive wins in franchise history in a single season. The most wins they've ever had is 96, which they've done technically twice, I should say, but really once. 2011 is the one that really counts, 96 wins. They had 96 wins in 2018 as well, but that includes Game 163. So the Brewers now at 85 wins. They've got 25 games to go. They need 11 more wins to match it. So they can go under 500. They can go 3 games under 500, 11-14, and match the franchise record for wins in a season. Whereas they go virtually 500, there's an odd number remaining. Let's say they go 13-12. That's 98 wins. Holy cow. Let's say they go 15-10. That's 100 wins. It's in the realm of possibility, which obviously nobody saw coming. But we're getting ready to start talking about clinching dates and magic numbers and the stuff that really matters about getting hyped up for the playoffs. But, man, they just continue to play their own game. A couple of texts here. Tom from South Dakota. One of the best aspects of having taken this series is the Brewers just continue to show how the rest of the both leagues that they don't care who, what, or where that they play. They expect to win. I agree entirely. This team just shows up, plays ball, and they understand that when you throw it out there, they're probably going to win the game. The sum of their parts is better than them individually. Like, you look at Yelich today, 2 for 4, double in the 7th, good base running, scoring on the contact play from Frelick, opposite field home run. Sign me up for that. Or you look at a guy like Isaac Collins today. Collins only reached base twice, 2 for 4, a single through the right side in the 8th inning, but then he was erased on a double play. And then the RBI double with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 9th inning. You know, Rookie of the Year is going to be a fascinating case between Drake Baldwin, between Isaac Collins, between Cade Horton. I'm still giving it to the guy that's suddenly playing every day for the first time in his career and has been one of the best left fielders in the game, regardless of whether or not he's a rookie. Other unsung heroes from today's game. I mean, we talked about Jared Koenig already, but how about Nick Mears? I know he gave up a single to Miles Straw. It was the day of the 9-hitter, I guess, in this series. A weekly hit single in the 6th, a single into left field. Also, speaking of Isaac Collins, cutting that ball off before it got to the wall, keeping Straw to a single. That was important, too. But Mears to come in, he got Stringer to pop out on the 0-2 pitch. He struck out Jimenez. Again, if the Brewers maybe had the lead, maybe he's allowed to face Addison Barger, but instead they go to Ashby, and he did his job, and both of those guys are maybe even available tomorrow. And now Abner Uribe, he pitched today. He got the double play to end the game. I'm sure they would like to stay away from him for 3 straight games tomorrow, but they've done their job. They've won the series. You can hand the ball to Nick Mears to go for the save tomorrow while Trevor McGill is out. And I sit here and I wonder and I ponder, how many games in a row would the Brewers have won if they still had Jackson Chourio on the roster? Because remember, he missed the entire 14-game winning streak. It's great to have him back. We're going to take a lap at the out-of-town scoreboard. We still got plenty of time here on the program. We're going to the bottom of the hour. So if you've got texts, if you've got calls, if you've got thoughts, if you've got comments, if you've got concerns, let us know. 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620. Or over on the YouTube live chat as well. A couple of nice comments over there talking about the team effort and how Chourio continues to be a threat for the Crew. But let's take a lap at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what it means for the playoffs after this on 620 WTMJ.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value ad work so you can focus on what truly matters. Growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests. Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world, waiting on this for a while now.
The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball sharply hit to short. Monasterio flips to Terang for one. On to first in time. And the Brewers have secured the series north of the border. A 4-1 final. Fireworks in the 9th. And the Brewers have taken the first 2 games here in Toronto.
Bunch of double plays in this series. That's 4 now for the Brewers. And that is our Surfside play of the game. Brought to you by Surfside, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka, and Surfside lemonade and vodka, paired perfectly with the day at the ballpark and stocked at American Family Field all season long. So we were doing this in the pregame show today, but in case you missed it, we'll put it in podcast form here now as well. Brewers All Access, by the way, if you didn't know that this podcast existed, you don't have to listen to these live. We appreciate that you listen live. You get to interact with the program. You get to call in, you get to text in and hear it said on the radio, but if you can't catch the whole show, if you're out and about on holiday weekends, that's what the podcast is for. You know, Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcasts. So if the playoffs started tomorrow, the Brewers would be the 1 seed. They would be the 1 seed getting a bye with the Philadelphia Phillies as the 2 seed. Philly is taking on the Braves right now. It's 1-0 Philadelphia in the top of the 5th inning. Then the Dodgers would have to duke it out in the wild card series. They would be hosting a best-of-3 against the New York Mets. Then the Cubs would be hosting a best-of-3 with the San Diego Padres, and that's the series that would match up with the Brewers. Remember, as the 1 seed, you would not get to face a division winner, meaning they would not face the Dodgers in the divisional series. So that would mean the Dodgers series would match up with the Phillies, and then the Cubs and Padres would match up with the Brewers, and then thus the Brewers would hopefully move on to the NLCS, where they would also have home field advantage. And the Mets and the Marlins are on a barn burner right now. It is 9-0, or it was, 8-2 Marlins. It is now 9-8 Marlins in the 9th inning. Juan Soto hit his 2 homers. He's got 35 on the year. You know, we talk about Yelich as being a 3 seed for the MVP. It's probably going to go to Juan Soto. But I'm hoping it's going to be Christian Yelich. He has been certainly worthy of getting a top 5 nod at least, but simply put, Juan Soto plays in a big market, and that tends to happen from time to time when you get more. Oh, my goodness, breaking news. A 2-run double by Connor Norby makes it 11-8. Marlins over the Mets. Off Edwin Diaz, too. My goodness. Interesting. Edwin coming in a non-save situation. We're going to hear from Pat Murphy in just a moment as well, but let's open up the phone line, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Mark, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, guys, great game, great show. But think about this. You talked about great pitching and great hitting. Look at the great defense that have taken the Brewers to where they're at right now, along with, if you look at the games that the Brewers have lost, how many games did they lose by 3 or more runs? You know, if anything, it was the hitting went cold, not the pitching. I mean, it's been just phenomenal.
It's been fantastic. And, you know, that's something that Pat Murphy talked about after the loss against the Diamondbacks. I aired it on Brewers Weekly on Thursday night, and that's in the podcast feed as well, Brewers All Access. But that the Brewers have been in virtually every game lately, right? Like, they got blown out by the Giants, right, on Saturday, 7-1. But they don't lose big games, right? So, like, here in the month of August, here are their margins of defeat in reverse order. So going back to Thursday, 2-1, 1, then there's the blowout loss to the Giants, 1-3-2-1, then you got to go to July, and that's when their next blowout loss is 3-10 against the Cubs. So yes, you're absolutely right there, Mark. The defense is the reason why the Brewers continue to do this, because there's so many little plays that happen over the course of a game that become base hits or become errors for other teams, and you're going, oh gosh, oh boy, here we go again. There's extra outs that we got to get. And we should also not be surprised, too. These are 2 of the top defenses in all of baseball. The Brewers by defensive runs saved, they're at number 5. The Blue Jays at number 8 at 38. But then you look at maybe outs above average. The Brewers are 2nd. The Blue Jays are 11th, but I don't really love outs above average. Fielding run value, the Blue Jays are 2nd. The Brewers are 7th. Again, none of these defensive metrics are perfect, but the point being, you can come to the conclusion that no wonder this game was scoreless heading into the 6th inning. These 2 defenses never break. They keep the ball in front of them, and it's just a quality style of baseball to watch play. Like, how catastrophic did it feel? Oh, my God, Bryce Turang had an error? What's wrong with him? What happened? Like, I mean, given how much that second baseman handles the baseball, he deserves a little leeway every now and then. I wanted to hear from the manager, though. Let's hear from Pat Murphy after today's victory. Man, they just continue to play good ball, and he had some high praise for Jackson Chourio.
Robbed in that first pitch, first at bat, and for him to come back and do what he did.
It's an amazing day. You know, it makes you realize, what kind of talent the kid has. Like I said, like everybody was so worried about 14 out of 18 strikeouts, and Whitney Houston showed up today when there was a big event, so they usually sing better when it's on the line. This kid knows about this level, and he knows about excelling at this level, and he knows it's not easy, but evaluating him based on his AAA at-bats wouldn't be smart, as we've witnessed today.
Hoffman's been a good pitcher for a while. To see Jackson and then Christian go back-to-back on consecutive pitches.
I mean, any pitcher in this game, any hitter in this game, the game humbles you. So there's days you're going to take 4 punch outs. There's days you're going to hit balls hard, and come up empty. The game is what the game is. But yeah, I'm just thankful that our guys, stayed with it and play like they do. And Yelly's as great as Jack was today, and he was sensational. He made a great catch too in center field, and but Yelly still got the big double, got him over. William got him over. Sal got him in typical fashion, and that's our team. We got back in the game, and then put the pressure on them. And they're the home team, and it worked out. Proud of our guys.
Murph, what you think about the 6 innings from Priester today?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Priester was very, very good. He shouldn't have given up anything. The one, we didn't turn the double play there, and the guy got to second. That ended up hurting us, but he was very, very good. Very good.
And then conversely, Gosman was terrific too. That was a real pitcher's duel for the first 6.
Gosman's got a big history. You know what I mean? He's got a big history. He's outstanding. A split is really, really good. Heater's good. He's a great pitcher. What do you guys got?
The 21 wins in August for you guys, that's only the 3rd time a Brewers team has done that. To do that.
Is that right?
Yeah, and you did almost all of that without Jackson. What does that say about what this team's, how the way they're playing right now?
Yeah, we're playing together, we're still learning each other, we're still learning, what we can and can't do, and we've had a revolving door with all the injuries we've had all year, and somebody else stepped up. Now, we've done this without Ortiz too, Joey hasn't played, and it's just, it's great. It's great to see.
They're getting back to full strength. They're being the roster that they were envisioning to be. And man, when Joey and Reese come back, it's like, who else are you waiting on at that point? McGill? That's really it. And all that really matters is the team that shows up on the door, hopefully, in October. When that day happens, the Brewers will be fired up. NLDS Game 1, October 4th. And remember, you get the extra day off between Game 1 and Game 2 of the NLDS, so that can really help this bullpen moving forward. Brewers get the win. Let's actually take a lap at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up on the other side of the break and get ready to say goodnight with our window ahead right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Get away with huge savings at Hyundai West Dallas during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can make your best deal and save an additional $500 on a new Hyundai. Or get 0% for 60 months and make no payments for 90 days on a new Palisade or Santa Fe. Get Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty. 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. From Hyundai West Dallas, a member of the International Autos Group. Visit HyundaiWestDallas.com today. Financing with approved credit. $1,667 for every $1,000 financed with $0 down. Offers cannot be combined. Ends 9/2/2025.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him real good.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
This is Brewers Extra Innings. What's coming up for the crew? This is your window to what's ahead. Brought to you by Window Nation.
All right, we got one heck of a matchup tomorrow. Brandon Woodruff, Max Scherzer, 12:37 first pitch. We're on the air at noon with the On Deck Show. It'll be Lane and Josh bringing you the coverage from north of the border. So the Brewers going for another sweep, and they're almost at the end. Tomorrow is game number 18 of these 19 in a row for the Crew. And we'll use the window to look backwards here briefly as well with this long stretch of games that they have been stuck in and the games that they have been playing. Well, with a win tomorrow, the Brewers will finish 500 over that 19 in a row stretch, which I think is pretty impressive if you ask me. If they win tomorrow, they will improve to 10-8 over those 18 games. Even with that little bump in the road, losing 3 in a row to Chicago, having the winning streak snapped in Cincinnati, losing the series to the Giants, splitting with the Diamondbacks. Even with all that, and everyone was doom and gloom over that, they still have a chance to be 10-9, worst case scenario if they win tomorrow. Or let's say they win each of the next 2 games, right? That moves them to 11-8 over those 19 in a row. Sign me up for that. Against some quality opponents in there, too. So that's just a quick look back, but we're excited for that one tomorrow. Again, we're on the air at noon, a 12:37 first pitch on 620 WTMJ. Then it's home. Odd start times this week against the Phillies, mind you. It'll be 3:10 for Labor Day on Monday. We will have Brewers warm-up starting at 2, and we'll have Brewers extra innings after the game as well. And then also back to the normal 6:40 on Wednesday, but then we have another odd start time on Thursday. That one will be 3:10 on Thursday. Instead of going day, night, day, they're going to go, mid-evening, night, mid-evening, again, to get ready to send the Phillies on their way. And then the Brewers, quick jaunt over to Pittsburgh, a 3-game set there with the Pirates. And then, also, by the way, they probably will miss Paul Skeens in that series, too. They'll probably pitch midweek this week, so they get to skip Paul Skeens since he pitched last night against the Red Sox. He probably will go on Wednesday. So then you get the Pirates and you get the Rangers. A couple of teams under 500 if you want to do the thing that the Cubs fans are doing, where you get Pirates, Rangers, Cardinals, Angels, Cardinals in a row. What do they all have in common? They're all under 500. Just speaking that into existence. Our window ahead is brought to you by Window Nation. Right now, you can get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Hurry, this sale ends soon. Trust Window Nation. You schedule your free estimate now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. A quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard one last time. That crazy game in Queens, nuts. 11-8. The Marlins just finished it off literally as I was speaking. Strikeout Tyler Phillips, the guy who smacks himself in the face, struck out Cedric Mullins. That is your ball game. So the Marlins win a wacky one there in Queens. That impacts the Mets as they will be watching the Reds later tonight take on these Cardinals. They are underway. It is 1-0 Cincinnati, an RBI double by Gavin Lux. That's still very early, only in the 3rd inning there. Phillies up 1-0 on the Braves. You mentioned that one a moment ago as well. A home run from old friend Weston Wilson, former Brewers farmhand. His 3rd home run of the season. It came off Chris Sale as he returns to the active roster with a ho-hum, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run on the homer, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts for Chris Sale. By the way, the Cubs still have 2 more series head-to-head with the Braves. They'll see Chris Sale at least one more time in that one. Other games that have already gone final, the Rays over the Nats 4-1 in our nation's capital. Pirates beat up on the Red Sox today 10-3, so the Blue Jays don't mind that they lost today, given the Red Sox and the Yankees are trying to chase them in the AL East. Pittsburgh had a homer from O'Neal Cruz, his 19th. The Pirates beat up on Dustin May, and the Red Sox made news by releasing Walker Buehler. Other games as well today, they're in a rain delay in Colorado, shockingly enough. The Cubs and Rockies will play a little bit later. Javier Assad against McCade Brown in that one for the Rocks. The Giants are out to a 1-0 lead over the Orioles. Man, the Giants are staying hot, aren't they? And it's, of course, another homer from old friend Willy Adames. He has caught a heater here in the month of August. He is maybe some big competition for Bryce Terang for this Player of the Month honor. Now, Willie's only hitting .202 for the month, but he's got 9 homers and no other extra base hits. What a weird month for Willie Adames. It all started with him coming back here to Milwaukee. That is going to just about do it for us here tonight. Again, on the air at noon tomorrow, but we will have post-game to react to all of it, hopefully going for a sweep against Mad Max and the Toronto Blue Jays, and then we will have plenty of shows. In fact, we'll have a post-game show for all 3 games against the Phillies, Labor Day, Wednesday night, and Thursday evening, given it's a 3 o'clock game, odd start time, so we're going to take over from there. I know it's football season. I know it's college football season, but that's why the podcast exists, in case you missed some of these weekend shows. Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate everybody who listens there, who interacts with the program, interacts on my social. I think we have a good time, and I think we've got a really fun team to watch. August ends tomorrow. It gets real fast. For our producer, Evan Wittallison, I'm Dom Cotroneo. Until next time, keep on swinging.
Baseball is back. Prime